know your audience. Before you actually interact with them, and I want to point out that 1 and 2, and this is on the top of page 2, in both of those, I'm going to suggest that you think about those. You think about the types of noise that can impact your interaction, and you think about the audience that you're going to be connecting with long before you actually get to the event, long before you're actually in front of the group. Make sure you've thought this through. But there's some things that you want to make sure that you know about the audience. First thing you want to know is the number of participants. And the number of participants is important for several reasons, some of which are real obvious. So for instance, I wanted to know from Michelle how many people are going to be here, because I had handouts and I wanted to make sure I had the right number of handouts. And if I only brought 20 handouts and there were 30 people, well, guess what? There's going to be 10 people who aren't happy and we're not going to be connecting really effectively. So I had to make sure I knew the number of participants. But there's another reason to know the number of participants. And that is, and I talked about earlier, the whole idea of external noise in side conversations. With a group this size, there's very little side conversation. And one of the reasons there's very little side conversation is because it's relatively small, about 20 people. We're all right here, and I can connect with you on one level, I can connect with you on a level, and I can connect with you on a level, so you can be a lot more focused. Think about what happens in 2 weeks when I facilitate the same session as a keynote for over 100 people. There's going to be more side conversations. I've got to take that into consideration. I've got to recognize that I'm not going to be able to get this physically close to the people I'm interacting with. Now, I can to the people in the front row, perhaps, but there are going to be people back there. And what are they going to be doing? Well, I don't have my phone on me, but they're going to be doing all those kinds of things. So I have to recognize, what do I need to do differently? And I'm going to need to do some things differently to connect with those individuals because it's a larger group. It's not because there's anything wrong with them. It's not because they're mean-spirited or they're not interested or they don't find value in the topic. It's simply because it's a bigger group and it's very easy to get distracted when you're further away and you don't think anybody's looking directly at you. So I want to know the number of participants.